Hi guys, in this video we are going to build a blog with Ghost CMS as its backend. This is the site we are going to build, which has a lot of posts right now. I got the data from the demo of Ghost. This is the site where I took these posts from, and when I click on one of these posts, we can see that we are going into that particular page, and we can also see we have some tags here, which I click on one. We can see other posts related to that tags, and you can go to home by here and blog page. Both are same as of now, so I have the contents of the blog page and the home page I have the same posts. And when we go to the tags page, we can see a list of tags that we have created in our Ghost CMS. So if I click on any of them like fables, we can see we have only one post on fables. Yeah, getting started as like 7 posts. We can filter them by doing this. Let's start with creating an Next.js application. So for that, we need to open our terminal, npx create next app at latest. Let's name it like Ghost blog. Yes, 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 no, yes, no. So once we have created this, we can open it in VS Code. Let's just try and run this npm run dev. So this site is actually the one I have already built. I have changed it to localhost 3001. This is the site I have already built, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm just going to add a new tab, which goes here, localhost 3000, which is the site that we have created now in Next.js. Everything works now. Let's just do a bit of a cleanup. So in global CSS, let's remove all these things except the 3 lines for Tailwind CSS. And in page.tsx, let's remove everything and add a new div with hello for now. Then add a class here which is going to be px of 10, and after medium screens we'll have a px of 40, and the background will be bg slate 800. Yeah, let's make the text white, and min height will be of the screen. So we don't have to do anything in the layout page, and we have added. Let's just remove this for now. Yeah, as we can see, our site is loaded very well. Like we got our background and everything now. But let's just create the header for now. To create the header, let's have it in a component. So let's create a components folder in which we will have header.tsx, export default function header, which is going to return a div. Let's say header for now, and let's try and import it here. So before hello, we need the header here. Yeah, I think it will work now. Yeah, it works now, and let's start building out things. So this entire header is a div, and this is in one div. These two are in one div. So we have to split them with justify between using flex. So now let's get into our header and link tag from next link with an href of the home page, and inside that link we'll add ghost block like the name of site. We'll add a data CSS here. So class name is equal to py of 5 flex justify between. Other than this link tag, we have another, right? So div, we will have another link tag with an href of slash blog, which has a class name of our bg slate 200 px of 2 pi of 1 rounded. Oh, sorry, this thing should be inside the quotes. Rounded large cursor pointer, and let's change the text and our text of slate 800. When we close our link tag, I'm just gonna write blog here. If we go there, so this we have to add a little CSS to it too. So in our link tag, we'll write a class name here. Text should be to Excel, and its cursor should be pointed to, and we don't want it selectable like, yeah, let me just save it first. Yeah, as you can see now I can select it like this and select now, so we don't want that, so select none. If we have it like this, we can't select this. We'll be having a px of 2, py of 1, font should be bold. Yeah, now I think it should good look. Yeah, so we have the blog here. It works too. I think we need to add CSS for this link tag too. Okay, so we have added the CSS. Yeah, what we need to do is add it in the div tag of that link. So class name flex. Since we are going to have two links, like one now we have one blog, we have to create another one tags. So flex justify between, text should be of Excel, and space between these two in X should be 10. Yeah, now it looks good. Yeah, let's add another link inside, which is going to be a tags, and yeah, tags here too. Yeah, let's add capital B here. Now we can see we have header ready. One thing is that we need to add this line here. To add this line, we can just write border bottom. Yeah, I think it would work. Border B alone for the bottom. No. So what we can do is we can cover it in another div, like this entire thing will go inside another div, since we can't add two divs here. Yeah, so everything is the same. We just made sure everything is inside another div, and after the header part we'll add another div inside it, and here we'll have the class of border B. Since we don't have anything here, it will be like just a single line. Yeah, it works now. Let's start with building this single card, like postcard, right? So let's build this post here. All right, so let's name this component postcard.tsx. Yeah, export default function postcard, which is going to take data. This data is going to be of type of a post, so interface post, which we haven't created yet, which we will do it in a second. We are going to return a div saying postcard. Yeah, so at the top, let's create an export interface I post interface. So here we have to list all the things we need in our post. Since we are going to get it from Ghost CMS, let's do one thing like Ghost CMS content API, and we go to the first link. So we need the data of single post. So this will do. Yeah, this is the entire data that we will get in a single post. In this, we will add one more thing to like include the authors and tags like we see here. Then the data will be like this. Yeah, this like this. But we will mostly focus on this part and we'll add the tags too. So here, let's start by getting the ID. It's going to be string. After ID, we will have a title and we will also have a slug. Yeah, and we need the HTML, which is the content of the blog. HTML, which is going to be of type string, and yeah, we need the feature image and feature image alt feature underscore image, which is going to be of string a URL feature underscore image underscore alt, which can be null. We are going to have it as string too. Yeah, we need updated it and published it too. Yeah, let's add those things. You can add whatever things you want. Updated at is going to be of type string, and published at is going to be of type string. And after that, yeah, in the bottom we can see we have excerpt. We need this. So this excerpt we will use it here, like in the description. It's like a small description of the post. Okay, let's go here and add excerpt. Now we need to add one more thing too, reading time. I think the reading time should be here. Yeah, it exists. Yeah, we can see it in a single post. There is reading time, but they haven't showed it here. It's okay, but it will exist inside it too. Let's just add it. Reading time underscore time, which is going to be of number. Now there is one more thing we need to add here, that is our tags. So as we can see, we have like more than one tags. If available, we are showing it here. So for that, we need to get this entire tag. So we'll add this interface there. We have to add a new interface, export interface I tag. This is going to have some things in here. We're going to have tags, which is going to be of I tags. I tag an array of it. Yeah. Now we have our I post interface ready. We have to add our tags interface, which is simple. So we don't need all these things. Let's just get an ID for it, name, and its slug. Okay. ID, which is also going to be of string, name of string, and slug of string. So now let's go to our page.tsx, and instead of hello, we'll have our postcard, which needs a data. Where data is, yeah, we need an empty data, like not an empty data, sorry, like some alias data to send here, which we are going to take it from here. Let's have the slug and ID. I think we need to add another object here with slug and ID, and we need the title and the HTML. Yeah, and we also need the feature image and alt of that image. Let's add an empty string here for now. We need the updated at and the published at string. Yeah, once I saved it, updated at does not exist in I post. Yeah, I just need to add a D here, updated at. So check your spellings. If you have anything wrong, it will show an error there. Yeah. One more thing is that reading time. I will say is 1 minute. Reading time is going to be of one excerpt. So we'll add excerpt from here, which is like which is so small. So I'm just gonna repeat this a few times. So we'll have it a little bigger. Yeah, I have pasted like 5 times now. In this, we need to add one more thing, that is our tags. So tags is going to be of an array of objects. Yeah, name, slug, and the ID. Yeah, let's just copy it here. Yeah, we'll create another tag inside, which will have a different ID. I just say one number here. So instead of getting started, let's add fiction. Fiction, yeah, fiction. Now we can see we have our data here, which if you want to keep this simple, we can copy it and have it in like const sample post is equal to this. Yeah, I have added everything in our sample post. Then we can have the sample post here. You can get these things from the GitHub repo. I will link them in the description below. So you don't have to type these things on yourself. Okay, now let's see if everything works. Yeah, you can see our postcard here. We have not added any styling to it. So let's go into our postcard. In this div, as you can see, this everything is clickable things. Like if I click the image, we will go there. If I click the exit, we will go there. If I click the title, we'll go there. Only when we click the tag, we will go to that tags page. Like if I click on this tag, we go to the tags page. What we need is, I will say, two link tags. One link tag, actually we will have three link tags, but two links. So this image and title is going to be under one link tag, and for these tags we will have another link tag for them, and for this excerpt we will have another link for them. So on the link of this excerpt and the image and the title will be the same, like this blog slash that slug part of this post, and the tags is going to be the slug part of the tag, particular tag. Like if we have multiple tags, we are going to add separate links for them. Here I will add a link tag with an href too. So I am using backticks here, blog slash dollar curly parenthesis, which is going to be of data of slug. Let me just close the link tag. We should import the link tag from next link, as we can see here. And inside the link tag, we will have a feature image and also our title in this link tag. And let me just copy this link tag. Out of this link tag, we'll have our tags, which is going to be surrounded by a div. Yeah, and then we will have the same link tag here as above, but it is going to have only our excerpt. I think it will work. So we don't have any content here yet. So let's go with a class name for this postcard. Class name is equal to border. The padding is going to be of 3 on all sides. Cursor is going to be on pointer. So for small screens, the width should be like 2 by 4 or 1 by 2, both the same I think. Let's go with 2 by 4. So LG, after large screens, the width of this card should be around 1 by 4. So it divides the width into 4 parts and takes the width of 1. Let's have the BG for this as 700 of slate, and let's have it rounded large. I think large screen should have 2 by 5, I'd say. So it will be a little bit bigger than the mobile screen's postcard. And after Excel, we will add its width as 1 by 4. We have our links and everything ready. Let's add our feature image now. So for our image, we will cover it in a div with an image tag from next image. This image tag will have a source of data.featureImage. Here the alt tag, we have to do one thing here is that the feature image alt can also be null. We need to say that feature image alt, if it exists, we'll give that. If it isn't exist, we will give an empty string. It should take the width 0, height also should be of 0, sizes should be like, let's go with 100 view width, which will take the entire screen, but not the entire screen, entire parent div, it's available to it, and we have restricted the width here. So the image will be of that size. We just have to add a little bit of CSS here with the full rounded LG, and height should be hard to like adjust it according to the width. Yeah, we have our image. We go to localhost 3000. One thing we can see is that invalid source property, which is not an error exactly. We have to include the domains from which we are getting our images so that we will have our images in the screen. So it's like a security thing. We need to go to next.conf.mjs. Here, if we go and type images and I think pattern or something, remote pattern, yeah, remote patterns. Inside the remote patterns, we'll have it like an array, yeah, protocol, which is going to have like HTTP or HTTPS. Here we can see our image will have an HTTPS. Mostly we will have an HTTPS, but if you're using it from localhost, let's go. You can go with HTTP, right? So yeah, protocols, hostname, hostname. I'm just gonna take it from here. Yeah, this is the hostname for that particular link. So after hostname, we need to set the path name. So path name is like after our ghost dot or like casper.ghost.org, whatever things we're helloing. Whereas there's 2 stars here, which means like hello everything in that domain. So if I save it now, it's restarting the server. Yeah, it should work now. One thing I can see is the images. Since I have taken this image, where is it? Yeah. Let me just close the other tabs other than these 2 things. One thing I need to make sure is that if this image exists. So if I paste it here, yeah, as you can see, this doesn't exist now. So let's go to our demo page and let's take an image from here. Like, yeah, let's just take this image now. Yeah, as you can see, this works. So let's add that image here. We will going to get the same error because we have our host name as different here. So since Casper doesn't exist now, we'll change it. So let's go back into our next config. We don't need this here. Okay, we need to change this and also this, and let it restart the server. It works now. You can see how image here. One thing that I'm gonna add here is that in next config we can add multiple things here, like multiple domains. I'm gonna add few domains here like Unsplash and stuff. So you can use it if you want. I'm just gonna paste the same thing, but instead of demo, it's going to be of static dot ghost.org. Ghost.org. One more thing is that if you are using your own Ghost CMS, there the image upload going to be like a little bit of different based on what you do. So let me just log into my Ghost CMS slash Ghost. Yeah, I think I already logged in. Yeah. When I go into post, we can see I have like a coming post. Okay, let me just open the site. Okay, in the site, if I click this post and open this in a new tab, I can see I have it in a static.org.ghost. As this image is from Ghost, they have added this image elsewhere. But let's say I'm creating a new post and this is title. So if we are adding an image from Unsplash, we have added that, but we will also add an image, a Demon Slayer image. Okay, and this is the content. Let's put it like that. And if I publish them, yeah, then once we close this in the site, we can see it's here now. If I click this in a new tab, we can see it is from my domain. So what you gonna do is that you need to add your domain here as well. If you are hosted it online, I have hosted this Ghost CMS in a DigitalOcean droplet. I will add a link in the cards above and also in the description below. If you have not hosted your Ghost CMS yet, you can do it. I will have to copy this domain again too. Here I will add it. We'll have from our domain too. Here in the host name, you can add your own domain here. Yeah, let's close this. And one thing we are going to do next is, let me just refresh this page. Yeah. So what if, so we are going to have multiple posts, right? So I'm just gonna paste it like 5. Let's make it 6, even one. Yeah, we can see it just goes from top to down. We don't want it. We also had to add a space in the top, like we have here. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to cover this postcard set of postcard with another div. Let me just create a div here. It goes here in the bottom. Yeah. Now we are going to have a class name as margin top of 12, which will add something in top. So it should have the width of full and flex call. So that actually is going to be column that starts like in the mobile screens, and after its small screens breakpoint will make it a flex of row and flex of wrap. So let's say it should wrap things around. If it doesn't fit in a column, the item will go to the next row like that, and we'll add each of the space as xy, sorry, x4, and in the y we'll add it 5. Yeah, and just make sure the justify center, and let's add a padding bottom of 10. Yeah, we can see that we have a post here. One thing I don't know is why there is this space here. Is it because of this padding bottom? I exactly don't know why is this alone a little bit bigger, but we can see that it's just the first component, and I have tried like in different screen sizes. It's just the first component that I don't know why it's not aligning properly. Like its height is like a little bit bigger. I don't know why exactly, but what we can do is that we can just page.tsx. We can hide the first card and we will add those rest. When we are calling the post from the Ghost CMS, we can make sure that there is one postcard with the sample data here exists in hidden always, and we will add the postcards below. Like I will add a div here with the class name hidden. Um, yeah, I will add this. So we need five. We have only five postcards now. Let's add one more here. Yeah. So now this postcard is always hidden. Now you can see everything is working, but this we should always have. So this is not an ideal solution for this, but I just found a quick way around it since I don't know why it is like. If you guys found out why, do put it in the comments. I'll make sure to read it. In a postcard here in title, let's get a div for it. Div which is going to have data dot title. You can see our title here. We need to add a little bit of CSS class name. Let's make the text of large. Font should be semi bold. Yeah, margin top of 2 to put it a little bit down than the image. So let's save it. Yeah, now you can see it looks good. One thing I want to add is we need to keep the card size constant, right? Like in a constant. So what if we have a larger title, like after this title, the postcard of another title can be longer, right? So let me just first then insert here some random text in this title, which is a larger title. Now, yeah, we can see that every single like not every single post will have the same number of lines in the title, right? So we need to make sure that we're having a constant size. Let's give it a size of 2 lines. So after 2 lines it should have like a little bit of 3 dots here. Like if they want to read more about it, they just have to go to that post. So for to that, we'll add a line clamp in CSS. Tailwind CSS, it's pretty easy. Like if you want to do this thing, we have to add these 4 lines in CSS. So what it does is it after 2 lines, if we have any content, it will just hide it and it will add like 3 dots in the end. Yeah. Now you can see we have like a constant size. So if it's just a 1 line, it's going to be there. Let me just remove this in my title and have it as back. We are done with the title. We need to go to our tags. But before we go to our tags, let's just finish this excerpt part since it's going to be a simple one. So this excerpt is also going to be in a link, sorry, div tag. So excerpt is also like the same. It's like a description of the post, right? As we can see, it's a description. We will have 4 lines or 3 lines based on what we have here. So what we need to make sure is that after the 4 line, we need to add these dots. So the size will not change. Yeah, let's do that. So here we will have our data.excerpt and here the class name is going to be text justify line clamp of 4. Let's have 4 lines and let's add a margin top of 2. Yeah, we can see since we only have 4 line, it's just having the 4 line. We are not having the dot or anything, but it will work. So we are done with the itself. We just need to add the tags here. In the tags, we'll add a spaniel of tags. For this time, we'll add a class name of py1 and margin top of 2 and text should be small. And for this div also, let's have flex and margin top of 2. Here, we'll create another div. This is going to have a class name of flex. So this div is going to contain these tags exactly. So we need to have this flex and it should wrap. If the image, sorry, if not the image, if the tags, we have more tags and it can't be contained in the width of that postcard, we need to make sure it goes to the bottom, like the next row. So we need to add flex wrap there, and let's make the item center and margin left of 5, and the text should be extra small here, and let's have a space between name in the x of 4, and inside this we need to have a link tag. Ref, I'm using backticks here. One thing is that we are getting an array of tags, so we need to map through them, right? For that, parenthesis curly brackets, sorry, not parenthesis, data dot tags dot map. We are going to get two things here, tag and then id x. We'll look through them. So in this link tag, we'll add the key is equal to idx, and in the href, we'll have slash tags slash dollar symbol, and we'll have tag dot slug. So we'll tell it to go to the slug part, and we'll have the tag dot name here. Yeah, I think we are done with our postcard now. Perhaps not. We need to add this little bit borders around here like this. So in this link tag, I'm going to add a little bit of CSS, px of 2, py of 1, and let's add the margin top of 2. Let's have a border, and I want it loaded, rounded large. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. Now we are done with this. As you can see here, after this, there is no space in between them. So for that, in page.tsx, I'm just going to add a little bit of margin bottom here too. So instead of margin bottom, let's go with my. So it will add in the top and also in the bottom. Instead of adding my, let's keep it empty and pb of 12, which is going to add some padding in the padding here, so it will be of okay. Now it works good. Okay. Now what we can do is that build another page. Like if we go to slash blog, we don't have anything here. For now, let's just add a little bit there. Like instead of 404, let's have something here. Okay. So I'm just gonna have a blog, and I'm just gonna create a page.csx, which is going to have RFC. I think RFC. Yeah. Let me just add this page. This page is going to be blog page. We'll add a blog page here. So after we complete this page, we'll add this to the blog page after we get those data and stuff. So if I do this now, we would have to do that too again. So let's just do once, okay? So in tags, we need to add some page, right? Like in tags here, we have a list of tags. Let's go for that now. We have to create a tags page. Okay, so tags, so index.js, sorry, tsx. We don't need js here. Export default async function tags, which is going to return a div. Give her header here. Instead of index.tsx, we need to have page.tsx. I don't know why I did it like this. Page.tsx. I think we have our blog post here. So we can see it's not same as our site. So we need to copy the CSS for that. So in the home page, like page.tsx of the layout, not the layout, in the parent directory. Let me just copy this line from it. We will have the same CSS here, but it looks like the same things. Yeah, now we can see we have a header. One thing is that we need some tags to show it. So I'm just going to add some sample tags here too. Const sample tags. It's going to be of an array of objects which is going to have ID of something and the name of, let's say, getting started, and the slug for it is going to be like getting hyphen started. Yeah, it works. So let's add it like couple of few times. Let's have like 3 tags. Oh, two is enough. I can't think of a third one right now. That's why fiction and fiction. Yeah. So this is how the tags we are going to be receiving. We'll just look through this sample tags. If this exists, we will do something, and if it doesn't exist, what we are going to do is we'll have like no tags yet. Yeah. Here, let me just add a class name of flex wrap. Since we're having the tags, we should wrap it right, and space between them of 5, and let's add the margin top of 10 now. Yeah. Inside this div, we'll create a link tag to that go to that particular tags page. In order to do that, we need to map through these tags. Curly parentheses, curly braces, tags dot map, not just a tag, sample tags, right? So sample tags dot map a tag inside it, and then idx, which is going to be used. We are going to create a link tag here with the key of idx and href of in the backticks, let's say tag slash that particular slug of that tag dot slug. Yeah, let's have the tag dot name here. Let me just save it. Yeah, we can see we just need to add a css here. Px of 10 and py of 4, font semibold, text of excel, border rounded large. Yeah, now it looks good. Okay, so click on this, it goes to slash tag slash fiction. It's a 404 page now. Getting started goes to slash getting started. One thing we can do is now we can create the slug pages. We have two slug pages like slash blog slash the slug page of it, and also the slash tag slash slug page of it. So now let's create a tag slug page. So inside the tags folder, let's create a folder named slug inside square brackets, and let's have a page.tsx inside that. Yeah, let me just close all the other pages, and let me just minimize this component too. Export default async sorry sync function of tag const. Let's do one thing. Let's do like for the single tag now, and when we get the data, we'll just map through them. Yeah. So this tag is going to return. So it's going to return a div. Inside that we'll add a header. So when if we see these two lines are the same, like we are going to have a header, and the CSS of the main div tag of the page is the same. So let me just paste it here, and let's import this header. Yeah, this is how it's going to look. So one thing we have to do is, since it is slash slug page, we need to get that slug. So we are going to use that slug as an ID and retrieve that particular post regarding the tags, right? So what we have to do is we have to get params here, in the curly braces params. This params is going to be slug of type string. I have to add yes here. Yeah. So let me just add a div here, which is going to be of margin top of 12, which is going to take the full width of screen, and flex column, and in small screens it's going to be, sorry, after small screen it's going to be flex of row, and flex wrap, and space x of 4, space y of 5, and justify content, sorry, center, padding bottom of 10. Inside this we can have as many postcard as we want, but we will add that postcard once we get the data. For now, let's say postcards. So now when we click on fiction, it goes into slash tag slash fiction. So I think it's still compiling. Yeah, it's coming now. So we are going to postcards, and if we click getting started, we can see we are going to the postcard. We will show the list of posts here. Now one thing we have to do is when we click on this, it goes to a 404 page now, but you can see it goes to a blog slash that slug. We need to create that page in blog folder. Let's create a folder with a slug in it with square brackets around it. In that we'll create a page.tsx. So one things we can see that this page have in common, like till header we have everything common here. Let's just copy these things. I'm just gonna paste it here. We need to close the div here. We also need to close this return, and we also need to close this parenthesis. Yeah, everything works now. So now when they go to this slash blog slash slug part, you can see let's start with adding the data now from Ghost CMS. I have logged into my CMS already. If you haven't, just try to do that. Again, if you don't have it hosted, if you have it in localhost, it will still work. So if you go to the content ghost.org, you can see installation page here. In installation, if I go to local install, I can see I can install this Ghost CLI in the local globally, and if I use a command ghost install local in an empty directory that you have created, like I don't know, Ghost CMS or something like that. If you Ghost install local, we our Ghost will be installed. And one thing you have to do that is we have to start like I think while installing it will start the Ghost CMS, but if it is started yet, you just have to type Ghost start in that directory in the command prompt. So it will start in the URL of this. If you are using localhost, make sure to add this HTTP and the localhost with this port inside that images next config file. You can stop this server by using ghost.stop. If you want to install it separately, like in a DigitalOcean, I will link it down in the description below and also in the card. Okay, let's go to the settings, and if you scroll down, we can see something like integrations. Yeah, here in integrations, if you go to custom, we can see that we have already have two things here. I'm just going to add a new one to show you how. Let's say my blog here, and add. You can see our content API key, API URL, and also the admin API key. We don't need to test the admin API key. First, we are developing a front end only, and we are using the same as a backend. So here we can have two things: content API key and API URL. We need to copy them. Just click on save. You can open them anytime you want. So like if you come to the integration, you can see my blog is there. Click them, I can access them. You need to create a new file there in the parent directory .env.local, which we need to add few environment variables, like two environment variables here. One is a ghost API URL, and other thing is the content API key, ghost underscore content underscore API underscore key. Okay, what we can just paste these two keys there, They click on copy paste. But since I don't have any blog post here, as we can see, we only have two blog posts with not that much data to work with. What I'm gonna do is that I think I closed the demo part here. I'm just going to go in. I'm gonna take the post from here. For that, what we have to do is that API, we can see that this is the site demo.ts. So this is like their backend site. They have given it here. We can see that key here. This key is the, let's say, this is the content API key. So again, integration. Yeah. This content API key is this key. So I'm just gonna use this key and add in our content API key, and in the content API URL we need to add this. I'm just doing this for development purpose, like in localhost. If you are going to host it, make sure you're adding your own domain here. Now what we are going to do is we need to get the data. We need to build some server actions now. In VS Code, let's create an actions folder. In actions folder, we are going to have like four for actions here. One is to get a list of posts, and another is to get post by slug. So a single post, we need to get a single post for that. So same things goes to tag, list of tags and list of posts within that tag. Yeah. First, let's go with getPosts.ts, which of course we have to add use server in the top. We'll have export a string function, get posts. Let's just declare a variable that we are going to return at the end. We are not going to use like any npm modules here. Like there is an npm package called content API for Ghost. I think the name is different. Like there is a package, but it doesn't work well with Next.js 14. It works till I think Next.js 12 or 13. I don't know if it works with Next.js 14. I know it doesn't work. Like I have tried it, it doesn't work properly for me. So I'm just gonna make this like a fetch request and stuff. I'm just gonna make a fetch request to the URLs, and you can see it. Like if we go there, this we are going to make a URL like this for our site. If I paste this URL now in a new page, we can see we are getting a lot of data here. I'm just going to pretty it. Yeah, we can see we have ID and things like that. So we're going to make like a get request or post request, any request from our Next.js application through a link like this with fetch method, and we will get the data. Let me just copy this link for now to have like a model first. I will paste it in a command. Then const post URL. So this is going to be like a post URL. Post URL and naming. Yeah, is equal to in backticks. So this is going to be the URL API content URL part, right? So I'm just going to add process dot env dot ghost underscore API underscore URL. Yeah, we have a URL and we have to go to, sorry, here slash ghost slash API slash content slash posts slash question mark key is equal to, which is going to be our content API key. And I'm just gonna open IN variable ghost content API key. So process dot env dot, yeah. What we are going to do is we are going to include our authors and tags. So you don't have to include authors here, but I'm just gonna do it. If you want to add some more data to it, like you can do it, right? I'm just gonna keep it like this. Next, what we need is it will return a set of posts for us, but we need to do one more thing. Like we need to get the post in a certain order. We have to order it in like the published date, latest to the last, like that, the descending order of the date. For that, all we have to do is we have to add another ampersand symbol here, and we have a parameter here called order is equal to published at. So this will return things in ascending order, but what we need to do is give it a space, and we have to say disk. It will return the descending order of the post with the published at date. One thing we can't do is that add this space in our URL. We have to use special characters for this. Percentage 20. This is going to add space here. After this, we are going to add one more thing, like we will now receive all the things from our fields, every single field, like what are the field they have in that content API. We don't need all that. We need some certain things that we have defined in our interface, like iPost. We just need those things. So for that, we are going to add another ampersand, and we will add fields here, like fields. Yeah, which is going to have another dollar symbol on fields, which we haven't defined yet, and we don't need this link now. I'm just close it, and const fields is equal to yeah. Now it makes sure that whatever the fields we enter here, it will return it to this URL, and it will make a request, and we will get only those fields. So what are the things we need here? We need our slug. You should not add any space here, just the name and its comma. That's it. So we'll have a slug, we'll have a title, we'll have our feature image and feature image alt. Yeah, we'll have published underscore at, and no space, updated underscore at. We'll also have our excerpt, and one more thing we need is the reading underscore time. I think this will work. What we have the fields we need right now, and we have the URL ready. Now we are just going to make a fetch request. Post response is going to be equal to await fetch of this post URL, and after getting them, what we have to do is async function. We're going to get the response inside here, which will have a const of status. We're going to get the status from response, this res.status const. Yeah, and we also need the data. Const data is equal to await res.json. Yeah. Now we just need to return this data and the status. This post response will have an status and also the data, and the data will have the list of posts if the status code is like 200. Yeah. So one thing we need to make sure is that we do really do have a status of 200. So if post response dot status is not equal to 200. So if it is not something that we expect, then we need to console log those errors. So let's console log post response. If it is not a 200 request, we will have our error inside the data. So data dot errors, and we'll just return an empty array to the front end. If we have everything, one thing we need to know is post is equal to, like the post we have already defined it in the top, post response data dot post. Now we have post, but let's say we don't actually have anything in a CMS, like it's just 200 status code, but we don't have any post to show. Then it can be null or undefined, and I think it will be like undefined. So if the posts is undefined, we need to make sure that posts is equal to an empty array. There's just one more little thing we have to do, and that is that published id, sorry, not id, published at and updated at. As we can see here, this published at and updated at will have a string of not just the date and its particular time also, but what we need is just a date pot. So We need to split them with this t as a delimiter, and we need to take the first element, so we'll get the date. We need to map through this posts dot map. We'll take a single post which is going to be of type iPost, and it is going to return two things. One is that post dot publish id, sorry, publish at, which will be equal to post dot published at dot split. We are splitting it with the delimiter capital T, and we need to get the first part, so index of 0. We need to do the same thing for updated at 2. So I will copy it both and updated at. We just need to add a comma here. So what it will do is that it will update on its own. Like we don't need to create a new variable for it. It will just return to itself. We will have our dates correctly. All we need to do is like return this post. If I can write spelling correctly, that is, yeah. I think it works now. It's good. Like we have imported a post here. We have our fields and our URL. We are making a request and changing the data as we need. We are checking if we are getting the correct request, like status code. And if there is no post, we are making sure it's an empty array. If it is not, and we are also making sure we have the data correct for our updated and published data, and we are returning our post to the UI. Yeah, I think get post is done. So let's go to getPostBySlug. Like we need to get a single post, right? So I'm just gonna create another file, getPostBySlug. That is, this is also going to have few server. Let me just copy some things here. Like till this, it's going to be same. I think let's just copy this entire file and modify it. Okay, yeah. Instead of getting the entire post, we need to get post by slug. Instead of post, I'm just gonna type post here, and we don't need the fields here. Now we have all the posts here, right? So we need only one post. So we have to filter it. Filter FIL filter is equal to slug, and this is going to be of slug. This slug is going to be get from here as a parameter, which is going to be of type string. Yeah. Now we are filtering it with the slug, so we'll just get one post here, but it will be in an array. But the first element of an array will be our post, and I don't think we will have more than one in any case. But yeah, it's like that. Let's just rename it to post URL instead of post, and post response, and I'll just change it here to post response, and post is equal to post response data dot post. In this post, yeah, I don't think we need this line here since it's just a post type. One thing we can be sure is that it is of type post, so I post. So what if I yeah, instead of defining it here, I'm just going to keep it here. So we have nothing to map through, so I'm just going to close these things here. What you can do is remove the parentheses and keep the other things as same, and we are going to return this post. Yeah, now we can see we have a get post by Slack action ready. We have a post URL. We are making a request to it. We are checking everything's okay, and we are getting the data and updating the dates part as we need, and we are just returning the post. Yeah, this works good now. Now let's go with tags.ts. This is also going to be like same thing. We're just going to change the URL and some variable names. That's it. I'm just gonna copy guest post here and paste it in getTags so we can finish things quickly. So we don't need this here, and we don't need this too. Instead of getPost, we'll have getTags function here. I don't think we need a field since we are only having 3 fields here. Just gonna remove this thing. For tags, we don't need to order them too. and we don't need to include anything. Like we already have the tags, we don't need to include them again. So instead of Ghost API content post, we are going to have tags here. uh, yeah, we have tags here. Instead of post here, I'm just gonna change it to tags URL and tags response. Yeah, tags URL. This is going to get the data from it, and let's see. I'm just gonna change the response to tags response here. So if the status is not 200, we will console log it, and we will get our tags here. Yeah, I'm just selecting everything with Control D and tags. Since we have not defined the tags yet, I'm just gonna write const here. Yeah, tags is equal to, we are getting the data from tags, and if that tags is undefined, we are making sure that tags is equal to an empty array. We have to redefine. So let's go with select here. Now it works. We don't need this, and let's say this is going to be of type I tag array. Yeah. What we can do next is we can get post by tag. That yes. So this is going to be same as our get post by slug. We are filtering it with the slug of the blog post. Instead, we will filter it with the tag. This is again going to be same as our getPosts.tsx. I'm just gonna copy. Sorry, I'm just gonna copy everything here and paste it here. As you can see, get post by tags by tag, not tags. We have a URL ready. Only one thing you have to do is, yeah, here we have to get our, now what we have to do is we have to filter it. So unfilter is going to be equal to tag dot, not dot, colon. We are going to filter it by our tag slug. So we are going to filter it by tag slug. So this tag slug is going to be returned, sorry, not returned. We are going to get it from here, which is going to be of string. Yeah, we are getting our tag slug here. We are filtering with the tag here. Everything else is the same. We don't need to change anything or add anything here. Now that we have done with our actions files, I'm just going to close all the files here, and we are going to go to a UI in our page.tsx. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all these things, like we are starting from plain. If I refresh now, we can see that we have an empty page here. What I'm gonna do is that we have to get some kind of data in here. Let's keep the sample. I'm gonna keep the sample post here. If you wanna copy it, const post is going to be of type I post of an array of it, and we are going to await it from get posts. Since we are using await, we have to use async here. We have a post now. All we have to do is look through the post. So posts.map, I'm going to get a post and its IDX. So we are going to return something here, which is going to be our postcard. Yeah, just want to remove this. Yeah, here key will be IDX. Instead of passing in the sample post, I'm going to pass the actual post here. Yeah, I think this will work. Let me just wait for it to compile. Yeah, compiled. Yeah, you can see how posts have come here. Everything works perfectly. In the blog page, I'm gonna do the same here. So I'm just gonna paste every single thing we have here in our page.tsx from the parent directory to, sorry, in the app directory, not the parent directory, to page.tsx in the blog. And I'm just going to change this home to blog. That's it. Now this will also look like our blog page now. So we go to a blog page or home page. Both are same here. One thing we have to do is tags. Now we have this tags as a constant, right? So for that, let's go to our tags page, page.tsx in the tags folder, and we have our sample tags here. We have already added async here. Okay, let's just go with const tags is going to be of type itag and array of it actually, which is going to be equal to get tags. Yeah, which will get the tags we need. Oh, it's never used. We'll use it now. Make sure these two sample tags are replaced with tags here. Yeah, now everything should work. One thing I'm seeing here is, yeah, okay, I haven't used await here. Okay, that's the problem. I'll just save it again and wait for it to compile. Yeah, it's compiled now. We can see all our tags here now. We have all the tags. What we have to do is this page also, like when we go to tags we can see these things, and if I click fiction we need to see that postcards, right? So after that we'll go into tags and slug the page.tsx inside the slug folder of the tags folder. So now here I already have async here, so const, let's just go to post here. Post is equal to await get posts by tag. In here we are going to pause in our slug. The slug is inside params. Okay. So here we are just going to map through our posts, post comma idx, and we are going to return postcard here with the key of idx and data of post. This post is going to be of type iPost, an array of it actually, and we just need to import that. Yeah, everything works good. I'm just going to save it, wait for it to compile here. It's compiled now. If we go to our fiction, yeah, we can see our contents here. As we can see, we have the same this thing. If you want, you can just leave it like that, or if you go to the page.tsx in the app directory, we are doing this, right? You can do the same thing there. Like sample post is not there, right? We have to copy this too. I'm just gonna keep it there to make the UI look somewhat clean. Yeah. Now our page.tsx in the Slug page of the tags folder is good. We go to tags. I think it's compiling. Okay. If we go to getting started, we can see the posts related to it around. Yeah, it works. If we go to blog, we can see all the pages in our blog, or if we go home page also, yes, all the blog posts. There is only one thing we need to do now, that is to show the blog post. I'm just gonna click on a post here. We need to write the contents here. So I'm just gonna close other pages now. Let's close this too. So inside the app directory and blog directory and Slug, we have our page.tsx. So in that, we are going to get our post here. So const post is going to be of type iPost. Post is going to be await. We're going to use get post by slug here, and we are going to pass in our params.slug. Yeah. One thing I've noticed that I have not changed the name here. It's going to be like a single post. Why is there an error? It is never used. Okay, I will use it. Okay, don't worry. What we are going to do is add the feature image feature. Sorry, feature image. And after adding the feature image, we need to add the title. As we can see here, I click a blog post. We have a fetch image title here and date. Like fetch image will be in a div, and this title and date is going to be date and reading time is going to be in another div. Let's do that. Feature image will have a div, and inside a div, another div, we are going to add our title and our reading time, our date and reading time. Below this, let's add like our article here. Article will have a post HTML here. Well, let's start by adding things now. Here, I'm just going to add a class name of relative z index of 0. Max width is going to be the screen LG. My, let's add 10. Mx auto, so it's center of the screen. Overflow should be hidden. And in LG, rounded LG, and the aspect is going to be like a video. Now let's add our image here. Image. Yeah, we'll do one thing like open curly parenthesis, post.feature image. If the image exists, we'll add this image here from next image. Just close it, and the source is going to be from post.feature image, and the alt is going to be post.feature image alt. So one thing is that we don't know if it will exist or not. That's why we can see an error here that it can be undefined too. So if it doesn't exist, we have to do an empty string. If it exists, let's add the post. Sorry, that alt text. Okay, here what we need to do is add a width of 0, width of 0. Same goes for the height. Sizes, let's just give it 100 view width to take the entire width of the parent div. And in our class name, we're going to have the width of full, rounded LG, and height of auto. The same thing we have used in our postcard too. Yeah, but you can see our image here nice and cool. And if you click on any other blog post, let's go here, you can see it comes here too. Okay, now let's get into our title and stuff. Yeah, here I'm just gonna add a class name of flex call and item center, justify center, and space y of 4. Here we need to add the title in an h1 tag, a post title, post dot title, not tag, sorry, title. Let's just add a class name here, px of 4. Text should be center, center. Text should be up to XL. Font bold. So if it's a bigger screen, like after medium screen, it's increase the font to 4XL. I don't think we'll be seeing the error here again. I think we have some kind of TypeScript error. Let's go to our PostCard. Okay, you can see that we are returning a post of, yeah, here the types of go. Get post by slug. We're getting the post by slug. We are passing in our string, like our things here, and we can see our UI, the data is rendering. I think the error comes from this line instead of this. Let's go with undefined or something like that. I think then it will be okay on this. One thing we can say is that it can be undefined. Then let's go with undefined, and if there is no post, what we have to do is we have to get them to the home page. We have to redirect them. Next navigation will redirect them to home page. I think it's worked now. Yeah. So we get the post of type by post. It can also be undefined. If it is undefined, it means the post doesn't exist. Then we will redirect them to the home page. Now, if we see our postal works, yeah. But if I go with something like A, B, C here, there isn't a post like that when I enter it. Since there isn't a post like that, why is it going there? We are just returning undefined. I'm just returning it here. But we are getting the status code as 200 since there is no post. Okay, okay, I get it now. We have to write that here. So this undefined is here. If we write that here, we can say the same things here. If the post doesn't exist, we have to return undefined. Will it work? Yeah. I think I'm just taking a long way here. I don't know, but I think it will work now. Oh, I think it will be in a home page. Yeah. If I go something like welcome and yeah, this will me. I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist, so it goes to the home page. Okay, now let me just open something. Yeah. So we have it till our title. What? Let's just open that same page to make sure everything looks same. Yeah. Now we need to add our date and our reading minutes. In order to do that, in VS Code, after title, inside the div for date and time, we need to add a class name here, which is going to be a flex item center. Yeah, space of x of 2, and text should be muted. Here we'll add a p tag. The p tag will have a class name of text access, font of semi-bold. After MD screens like medium screens, let's change the font to small. So inside this we will have a post dot updated at time, add a span tag and add these two lines. Yeah. After that, let's create another p tag for reading time, which will have the same class as text as. Will have a font of semi-bold, and after medium screens, let's have text as small. Yeah. We have to add in our reading time now. Post dot reading time means read. Now if we go to our page, we can see it's a 1 minute read. Yeah. Okay. Now we have one thing like we need to add this line to separate it from the content below. For that we just need to add a border down, right? I'm just going to create a div here, which is going to class name border beam. We'll create a border down below. Yeah, just need to give it a spacing like mt of 5, margin top of 5. Yeah, it looks good. So now let's go with the actual article now. Like, let's give it a class name relative width of full, max width of 4xl, and yeah, mx auto text primary. No, let's give the text. Text should be in white color. It's already in white color, right? Yeah. let's just put it anyway. We'll create another div inside and mx auto. Max width of this is going to be just 3xl, and the text should be justify py of 3 pros and pros base. I think we have not installed the typography plugin yet. Okay, we'll do it. Since we have like a dark theme, like we don't have a dark theme yet, but our background is like a dark theme, we'll go with pros invert, not just a pros invert. And one thing we can do is pros a. The a tag should be of text of blue 500, and there should be no space here. Inside this div, we are going to check if the content exists, like post.html. If it exists, we are going to do is return a div. This div we are going to dangerously insert. I think dangerously set inner HTML underscore HTML is going to be post.html. Yeah. In order for this pros to work, we need to add the typography. For the typography, we need to install Tailwind CSS extension npm hi Tailwind CSS typography, as you can see here. So while it's installing, we need to include it in our Tailwind CSS. When we go to our Tailwind CSS, you can see in plugin, we should write like require, and inside the code, we have to paste this. Yeah. Looks like we are installed. Let's start our server again. Yeah, it took a bit of time, but it's compiled now, and it's refreshed now. You can see text has changed a little bit. I think it's cause of pros invert. Let's just keep pros here and save. Yeah, now it's working correctly. In order to invert it, let's just go with dark. Then let's use pros invert. So I will just invert correctly. Yeah, now we can see everything is a little more neat. Let's go to our home page now. Here, yeah, let's open another like the purpose of education. You can see the everything looks good. Yeah, it's good enough now. I think we are done, but let's just make sure everything is okay by building out this. So npm run build. Yeah, we are getting an error here. Like this is not actually an error. It's a printing row thing. So simple tags have been used, but we are not using it. Sorry, have been assigned and we are not using it. Seems so in tags page.tsx in 7th line we can see we have simple tags here. See sample tags here. I'm just gonna comment this out. Okay, now I think it will work. Yeah, it works now. Npm run start. Yeah, it's ready. If I press refresh, you can see our site is here. If I go to blog or homepage, if I click any site, any blog post, we can see our post here, and we can go to tags. If we go to fiction, we can see the post related to fiction. If I click those posts, we can see our posts here too. Yeah. So I think this is it. If you want to access this code, I will link down the GitHub link below. And if you like this type of contents, please do subscribe and like this video. Thanks for watching.